Welcome to Silver Bar Stacker, folks. I hope everyone's doing well and having a happy Friday. And hope everybody's ramping up for the weekend and getting ready to have some fun. Speaking of fun, we've got a quick unboxing today. This one is featuring a round that I actually have a duplicate of. And so for me, you know, I'm always happy to pick up duplicates, and so for me, this is worth it. But you know, this is not a very common round, and so, you know, let's crack open into this package and see what you all think. Let's see if you think it's worth it, or if you think this is just kind of like one of those things where it's like, SBS, that's a little bit weird. Why are you even collecting these things? So I'm excited to take a look. Low mintage does not always mean it's a great investment. You know, maybe it makes you happy, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to turn around and sell it to somebody for, you know, whatever it is that you bought it for. So let's go ahead and take a look inside, and then each individual can be their own subjective judge of what they think is inside. Alright, so it's cracked open. Seems to be a quick unboxing here, but they have actually secured it very nicely. Alright, in fact, this thing is double packed. Such a small package, but double wrapped. That's impressive, honestly. I don't have packaging. You know, when I package things, you know, they're secure, but I guess, you know, each person who ships with their own method, right? They all have their own strategy on how to keep a package secure, and so I guess that's what it comes down to. Regardless, whoever this person is, I'm very excited about how well it's packaged. All of this ultimately triple packed. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. In fact, it doesn't come in a capsule, so finally, let's take a look. Alright, we got it capsulized. Check it out. So some of you have seen this actually on the channel before, because I've actually unboxed one of these, and like I said, this is a duplicate for me. And so for me, I'm very excited to pick this up. I know I've gotten a couple comments on the channel when I first featured this on the channel, and folks thought it was a little bit funny. They thought it was a little bit funny of a looking round. So this is actually Engelhard round. It's produced for Steve Ovens, which was a textile company from back in the day. They actually ended business now, so they're not in business anymore. And so this round right here is the first of a series of 4 rounds that were produced for Steve Ovens. And these rounds were actually produced by Engelhard. Right? So the Prospector rounds, those big P-loaf bars, you know, all that kind of stuff that is very well known. You know, Engelhard Company has produced a lot of obscure stuff as well. And so this kind of fits into the category of one of those more obscure things. And when I say obscure, I mean that there's a smaller buyer pool for stuff like this. And so when you're buying stuff like this, you're going to want to be cognizant of that, right? When you turn around and you have to sell this, yeah, maybe you might find somebody who's willing to pay, you know, even more than the premium that you paid. But by and large, these types of pieces would be safer purchased if you can have the added justification of buying it as a piece for your own personal collection, right? Where it's something where you're not intending maybe to get rid of it, or you don't need to get rid of it in a crunch, because these types of things where they're a little bit more collectible, especially when it's like not immediately recognizable that this is an Engelhard. Like, yeah, you could go and promote the fact that this is an Engelhard, but nobody is going to look at this and be like, oh yeah, that's an Engelhard round, right? That's a Canadian prospector, or that's a prospector proof. No, everybody can recognize a prospector, and so that's very liquid in the sense that like anybody's going to be willing to buy that from you if you price it reasonably. And you can also go out and find prospector rounds generally for a pretty reasonable price as well. So you can buy them at a reasonable price, sell them at a reasonable price. They're very liquid. Whereas you start to go and buy something like this, well, let's take a look. I mean, there's only 5,000 of these that are minted. So if there's only 5,000 of these, maybe it's a design that some people love, some people hate, some people might not be interested in this. Now that shrinks your buyer pool considerably, and so is this worth buying? That would be in the eye of the beholder, right? That would also depend on how much you paid for it. Now when I went and tried to pick up this round, there weren't any other interested buyers, and so I was able to just buy it, right, without any issues. Now when I have to go around and sell it, I don't think it's going to be that easy unless there's somebody like me who's just like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be purchasing that. Well, yeah, so we'll have to see about that. But this is a 5,000 minted round, and so that's pretty cool, right? That's quite low mintage. I mean, a prospect round, for example, is 75,000 minted. Any of the years, right? So, but I mean, across all years, there's even more. But any single years, like the 1982 prospect round, for example, is 75,000 minted. Well, this is only 5,000 minted. So that means there's 15 times more 1982 prospectors than there are this round. So that makes this pretty rare. I mean, it's pretty hard to come by a round like this. Like those colonial bars, for example, that you see couple stackers have. Those colonial bars, those are 1,000 minted. So those are 5 times more rare than this. So that just kind of puts it in perspective. Like the more illiquid, I mean, the more rare you go, the less liquid it is. The harder it is to kind of get rid of them and recover that premium that you paid. So just be mindful that when you're buying collectibles, right? Buy those because they make you happy, but also be mindful of what you're getting yourself into. It may be harder to kind of unload this thing. So I'm a fan of this round. I think it's very cool. This one actually has a little bit of toning here. Not sure if you can see it so well in the light here, but it's quite a toner. And here's one that's like not a toner. See? You'll see this one is much more pristine condition. So I was really happy to pick up a duplicate of this round. Steve Co-Wovens, Steve Co-Knit. Pretty cool round here. So that's the 5,000 minted. Now I said that there was a series of 4 on this. Now, look at that. There's a round produced by Engelhard that was for the state of Indiana. T the Silver Stacker. Shout out to you, my brother. Hawaii, interesting. I know there's an Ohio one. Oh, there's another Indiana one. I know there's one for Ohio, so that one would be great for Silver Joker. But anyways, check this out. This is actually the so what we saw here was the 1985 version. This was the first year that Engelhard came out with the silver rounds produced for Steve Co-Wovens, right? So that's what you see right here. That's the 1985. Then in 1986, they actually released this other version, which you'll see here. That's 1,000 minted actually, and so the remaining 3 are all 1,000 minted. And so this is the second one, which was released in 1976. Steve Co-Wovens. Fabrics of sterling quality. Check that out. Pretty cool. Fabrics of sterling quality. $1976. So that's pretty cool. Now, and here's that Ohio round that I was talking about there. That would be great for Silver Joker. It's a 2000 minted round. I'd love to get my hands on that. And then New Jersey.
So then we go down to these last two. Now this is the 1977. The 77, in my opinion, that's my favorite by far. That thing is so funny. Especially the front of it is so funny. Look at this guy. I don't know who this guy is, if he's the guy who built the company or who he is. But this is such a unique and fun round. And I was really, really happy to pick this up when I did. Because I saw one up again for sale. I was really hoping to get a duplicate. And that person who was selling it, I guess, I'm not sure if they ended up actually selling it, but it was they weren't sure what they wanted for it. I'm not even sure if they knew they wanted to sell it. So if you're not ready to sell something, then don't list it, right? You could just keep it for your personal collection and not list it. So anyways, I had made some offers and they had been kind of rejected, and then later I come to find out that the same item was listed for 2 to 3 times more, but I don't think it ever actually sold for that much. So anyways, the point is that these things are only going to be, you're only going to fetch the premium that somebody else is willing to pay, right? So make sure that you're happy with the collectible. Don't just look at the mintage and be like, oh, 1,000 minted, 5,000 minted, 50 minted. Heck, even if it's 1 minted, okay, maybe you're the one and only person who has that and likes that. Now, if you look over here, unfortunately, I haven't managed to find this last round, and so that's why I was kind of happy to pick up a duplicate of this round, because, while this is a 5,000 minted, it's a little bit more common. I was thinking, well, I could use this. I wouldn't mind eventually getting rid of this if I could somehow get my hands on that last piece, which is the 1978. So I've never seen the 1978 in the flesh, but I do hope I can come across it one time. But I hope you did enjoy the unboxing of my toned up 1975 Steep Co-Wovens silver round produced by Engelhard. And I hope you enjoyed checking out the rest of the partial set. Let me know if you think it's worth collecting obscure stuff like this. Cheers.